Now, get ready for the hottest podcast coming out of Dallas, Texas, with Sean Fox, K Boogie, and Cowboys Nikki. Stars talking Cowboys. Let's go!
Yo, here we go again. Back up on the scene. Stars talking Cowboys, you know what I mean. The podcast repping everything with silver and blue. Keeping it real, that's what they do. Let me tell you about the crew. Sean Fox spitting facts, K Boogie's giving game, Nikki's got the stats, so of course she covers everything. It's showtime, so let's get to the biz, and that Stars talking Cowboys. Yeah, you know what time it is.
What's up? This is OG Fox on Stars Talking Cowboys. My name is Sean Fox. I'm one of your hosts. We got K Boogie and Cowboys Nikki that will be on in just a minute. Want to talk about the Buccaneers and Cowboys game here. Going to have some of the highlights up here as we talk. It was actually a very good game. Wish our defense had played like this at the beginning of the year, but it is what it is. Not gonna complain. I'm just glad that we have a couple of more weeks of Cowboys football. Eventually we're gonna talk about get your take on the game and what you think was did you think it was a good win? Did you think that we want to discuss, the big debate that the whole Cooper Rush, Dak Prescott deal. We're going to talk about the running game, the existence of the running game, the moves that we made on the offensive line to get the running game. And we'll talk about the impending free agents that we're going to have this season. We're going to have a lot of free agents. Everybody's worried about the salary cap and so forth. But we're going to have a lot of free agents coming on this off season. So we're definitely going to, be able to, see what type of moves. We're going to see if Jerry really wants to be all in on this off season as he claimed that he was in last off season. We also, while we're doing our show, we got the Seahawks and the Bears on Thursday Night Football. We might talk about some highlights from that. But up until that point, like I said, I'm just gonna, speak about, what we witnessed on Sunday Night Football. To highlight there, Turpin getting the ball. It looks like we were trying to manufacture a run game, and I'm kind of glad that McCarthy had decided that we needed a run game. It definitely looks like that. It definitely looks like Cooper Rush is trying to get in some type of rhythm. But no matter how you look at it or what you think about it, he's still no Dak Prescott. And that's going to be, one of the biggest debates that we're going to continue to have during this offseason, especially with the contract that Dak signed and with Cooper Rush being a free agent after this season. So we got a lot to discuss when it comes to this offseason here. What's up, K Boogie? What's up, Nikki?
Hey, what's going on? Happy Thursday.
All right. Did y'all get everything you wanted for Christmas?
Yeah, I didn't want much. After my Cowboys was out of it, that's all I wanted, but I didn't want much.
Yeah, I got a couple of good gifts. I showed y'all my personalized Cowboys blanket I got.
Yeah.
I love that. I got a Cowboys computer, a desktop mat, so I can take that to my office and have complete my office with Cowboy stuff.
That's always a plus.
Yeah. And then I consider that game on Sunday night as a present for us, even though we didn't have the best season in the world. That was one hell of a game.
It was, and it was, and these are the type of games that you build momentum for going into your next season, even though your season didn't start out and pan out as much as you wanted it to, you know. But we're not gonna use excuses because we're not allowed to have excuses. We're the only team that can't make it have an excuse for a bad season. Um, but things should have told people just looking at some of these other games this past weekend, past week, it should tell you, certain things about the game. And that's why, like I said all the time, I didn't realize until I got on to social media came about that so many men didn't know football.
Yeah. I will say this. I won my football pool last week.
I did too.
Did you? I had two losses.
I had one, and it was the Carolina game that I had the loss on. Other than that, I would have been perfect. I had a perfect board, and I picked the score. I mean, exactly the score. I picked the exact score of the last game, but I had that one loss with Carolina.
No, I had two losses last week. I ain't gonna tell you which one I had.
Who you had?
I didn't pick the Cowboys to win. I
Oh,
did
you
not.
sure didn't. You
I
sure
told you I
didn't.
was not picked. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, we could play hard, but I figured that Tampa Bay, because they beat up on the Chargers, man, we ain't have a shot.
Nah, I
And
always
then,
felt like we did.
listen, that was stupid on the coach's part to put 8 men in a box, right? He said, well, you know what? Rico's not going to beat us. We're going to let Cooper beat us.
Hmm.
And that's what he did. I was like, what? I said, come on, bro. Are you serious? They should have just played man on man, and they didn't.
And they
That's why I was
didn't.
surprised. I was really surprised what he was doing.
Yep. If they would have played man on man, then they would have not. We probably would have not seen what we seen out of this game. But for me,
Well, you got to give Cooper credit though. He made a couple of
I'm
good
gonna give him
yeah,
throws.
credit.
that's
I'm
what
gonna
I
give him
said
credit.
on my
Yeah.
thing. He had to push the ball down the field, and he did. He did push it down the field. He did get it down the field, and his plays were a little. His throws were a little bit more accurate this time. They wasn't as bad off, but it was some that he still threw on out there that should have been picks. You know,
And it still didn't have a zip on it that you would expect from a starting
because
quarterback.
right,
Uh,
right.
mm-mm.
But hey, they got this big thing going on now, like online now about how many games or whatever. And I'm like, come on, y'all have to be kidding me.
That's why I showed it to you. I'm telling
Zach
you, it's
haven't
all over.
played. Like he haven't played. So what are you talking about? Like what are you comparing? Like I don't get it. I don't understand it. And Cooper Rush is exactly what he is. A career backup quarterback. And like I keep saying, if teams were that interested in Cooper Rush when he was a free agent last year, we got no calls for him. None.
He
Now,
didn't get no calls either.
none. Now, it's a possibility that he may get a call or two this year, because he actually played more games this year. Than the last when that got hurt the last time. He actually played more games this year. But it's confusing to me. Like, yeah, I can't sit here with this stupidity and say this. We all know Dak didn't have a good season starting off this year. We all know this. But can you seriously blame it all on Dak? You can't.
You know what that's about? $60 million. And Jerry Jones set him up for failure anyway by doing that. He waited to the
Exactly.
last exact minute to sign him, and then he put it up there $60 million. Like really? So you're gonna hang that on Dak Prescott? You didn't go out and replenish the roster with talent So you trying to say, well, I got to pay Dad, I got to pay Lamb, so we can't go out and get anybody when Henry was right there if you want to sign him. Not even just Henry. Pollard was there too. You had all the other running backs is there too. He didn't want to do it.
Mm-mm.
He didn't. And now you have cats looking at Cooper Rush like, oh my God, he's making so much less than Dak Prescott. We need to get rid of that. I'm like, are you out of your mind?
Yeah, they stupid.
It's not only just that. I mean, Mike McCarthy had to dummy down the playbook again for him.
Yep.
Again.
Way down.
Like, come on. Oh, he's getting rid of the ball so quickly. And they sitting on routes. They playing bracket coverage sitting on routes. And Tampa Bay didn't do it, but like everybody else is doing it. You think now that Lamb is not playing this week, you think they're not going to be sitting on routes in Philly on Sunday? They're going to be sitting on routes on Sunday for him. Just waiting. And it's bad as Cowboy fans that you have to argue with other fans about your own starting quarterback. It's like I'm doing the same thing that I
Right.
did with Romo. Same
Right.
thing. It's like it's crazy.
Like
We
I
root for
think
the
it's
same
stupid.
team. What are we doing here?
Right.
And that gets me more than anything else. We rooting for the same exact team. Oh no, Cooper Rush needs to start. And I know Jerry Jones is staying up late at night saying, why did I sign Dak Prescott? I'm like, yeah, he knows why.
Man, Jerry ain't staying up at night.
Exactly.
Jerry ain't
But
staying
our
up at
fan
night.
base swear he's staying up at night, losing sleep.
I
I'm like,
wish
come
I
on,
wish
bro.
I would. Jerry ain't staying up at night worrying about that. Jerry don't even care because if he cared, there's so many other things that he would have done. Jerry don't care.
Exactly.
Look how he started off the end of the Netflix thing. Look how he started off.
Oof.
365 days a year. We have uh what he said.
I ain't even watched it yet, but I saw clips of it, and I'm like, you got to be what? It
Yeah,
365 days a year, cowboy talk or whatever.
no, he says something else that was just like, why would you say that as the owner? Hold on, I'll put it. I'll tell you real quick
He's
what
a
he said.
showman. He's a showman.
Let me see what that clown said.
I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. Oh man. Then we got flex too. We got flex on Sunday from 4:30 to 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Well, I expected
I know
that
that hurt.
because
I know
I,
that
I
hurt.
expected that because
Yeah,
the
me too.
the Minnesota game and the Green Bay game has playoff implications,
Of
and
course, of
also
course.
Minnesota playing for first seed,
Yep.
for home field advantage. So I mean, I expected that to happen or whatever. It happened to us one time before. Actually, when we played the Niners, it happened to us that year. That's the year we had the guy that we got from the Niners. What's his name?
Who you talking about? Trick or Trey?
No, no, no.
Trick or Trey. I like saying that. Trick or
Um,
Trey. Hopefully he gets to play on Sunday. Sorry.
what's his name? The one that stay in trouble all the time. And we got him from the Niners. Well, he wasn't with the Niners anymore. He already had been cut, but we gave him a chance to come back into the league. He was a defensive back. No, I mean defensive end.
Oh, I know you're talking about Smith,
Uh,
Alden Smith. You're talking about Alden
yeah,
Smith.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, he
That's the
was a
year.
baller
Yeah,
too.
that was the only time that we got flexed is when we played the Niners. That's when the Niners they were terrible that year.
Oh,
Because I
Alden
think
Smith.
because
Oh
Dak was
man.
out. That's the year Dak was out because that's the year Dak broke his ankle because Dalton Dalton was the quarterback.
Man. Alden Smith. Oh my God. That. Oh man. Rob and Rob Marinelli. He loved him too. Everybody loved him.
But he wouldn't stay out of trouble.
Man. Mm, that was beautiful.
He would not stay out of
He
trouble.
was he could sack the quarterback, man. I don't know. He had demons.
And he was fast too for his size. He was fast.
Just like Ronaldo McClain from Alabama. Oh, he was a perfect middle linebacker. Oh, he was perfect. He was a perfect size, speed,
Yeah.
height, weight. Oh my. Oh, 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 oh. and he couldn't stay out of trouble either.
Couldn't stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
I love Rolando McClain, but he couldn't stay
If
out of
we had a
trouble.
linebacker like that, that's why I was telling some other cats. I said I want a middle linebacker like him. I really do. If we could get one, oh my goodness, I don't know where. I'm gonna pray for one during the draft or something. But if we had one like him, woo, Lord, I wouldn't be too concerned about stopping a run.
So I was looking at earlier when before you had posted that in the thing.
Ooh,
Um we have 25 free agents next year.
yeah,
And um to be honest, it's not a few it's I mean pretty much a bunch of them are players that you would say you would possibly want to keep,
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
you know. So Stephen them already has started setting up the storyline, of they don't have the money. Or we don't have the money. They
he
already
did
started
that
setting up the
already.
storyline. I was like, is y'all crazy?
Yeah, they did. They started that already. We're
Oh,
not gonna have any money. I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go. I don't know. It's a lot of free agents too. I just counted. They said now 27 actually unrestricted free agents that we have. It's like, damn, we had a lot last year. We have a lot this year. I don't know. I don't know what Jerry gonna do. And Steven.
Yeah, it's gonna be this is gonna be interesting off season.
right. That's what he
Very
said.
interesting.
He's he said we're a soap opera. So 365 days a year.
Wow.
He said we a soap opera. I said, what?
It's like Dallas.
Right. He was like, yeah, we're a soap opera. 365 days a year. I'm like, oh
He
my
likes selling
God.
money. He likes selling the Cowboys. I'd rather be winning, to be honest with you, than doing all this Netflix and all this other
Right,
nonsense, to be honest
right, right.
Well,
with you. But I don't know. We got 2 more weeks left.
I know. And that is so
and
horrible.
and it's both of them against division rivals at that.
Right,
And that's good though. I'm glad though. We get to play spoiler if we could. I don't know about the Philly game, but the Commanders, that's the game that probably
but they're
Quinn
in,
circled on
right?
the calendar. They in, but Quinn said that no, the next time he played the Cowboys, he's trying to whip. He's trying to put a, you know what, on the Cowboys because he said he took them lightly when we came to Washington. He said we took them lightly.
I mean, if he have any type of sense, that was not the mind frame he would have, knowing that he have a playoff game that next week. He shouldn't even be playing his main crew, because Justin what's Jaden Daniels, he already had gotten hurt, a little bit early in the season. So that's the last thing you want to do
I
is,
don't think he's gonna play him that much. He'd
you
be
know,
smart not to play him.
you don't want to get your quarterback hurt because they need him. They absolutely need him.
But let's say the Cowboys beat the Eagles. Just let's say the Cowboys beat the Eagles, and then basically the Commanders beat Atlanta. That means the Eagles will be one game in front of them for the NFC East title.
Right.
so, so this is why I'm saying this week game against the Eagles is gonna be really tough. Commanders game versus Atlanta is gonna be really tough as well. These are like playoff games right now.
Right. Right. So let's talk about Zeke and his touchdowns where he got 71. He needs 72 to tie Tony Dorsett. So do they game plan for him to get that touchdown this week between these 1, 2 last weeks?
Yeah, you know they're gonna do that.
He gonna get it in Dallas though. They're gonna make sure he get it in Dallas for some reason. Not against Eagles. Next weekend, definitely. Because you figure we don't have CeeDee Lamb out there, so now we're gonna play a bunch of inexperienced wide receivers out there, right? So I don't know how we have opportunities for him to score close to the goal line
Well, I
against the
want to see.
Eagles.
I do want to see. I do want to see Mingo a little more. Um, I do want to see him a little more because we gave up a fourth round draft pick for him. So I do want to see him a little more. I think these last two games is gonna determine Jalen Brooks' faith and also gonna determine Tober's faith with the team. Um, Tolbert is what, three years in now, and he has some flashes of good games, but I feel like he should be a little bit further than he is with his game. So, but who can we blame? Again, we don't never have the coaching staff that know how to coach their players up, how to get the best out of their players. We don't have that type of coaching staff. We're one of those teams that don't know how to do that. So that's why so many times you see a lot of our players go to other teams and they absolutely succeed. And you like, well, dang, why you didn't do that over here? Or why you couldn't do that with us? Because they don't have the right, we don't have the coaching staff to do that. Um, and I just feel like if we making moves with the staff, coaching staff, Mike McCarthy got to be gone. We got to get Mike McCarthy gone. O line need to be gone. I mean, O-line coach need to be gone because he's terrible. It took you 8 weeks to get your O-line together. He's terrible.
Zim got to go too, though.
But if
Zim has to
yeah,
go too.
because Jerry said that Mike McCarthy and Zim is a package deal. That's what he said. He said they are a package deal, meaning if one stay, they both stay. If one go, they both go. But for some reason, I don't think he would get rid of Zimmer because I think he has a more of a record relationship with Zimmer than he did do with um, McCarthy. For some reason, I don't think he get rid of Zimmer because the defense is all advocating for Zimmer to stay because they have now, it took them half of a season, but they are now feeling comfortable in his scheme. And they only feel like that if he they get rid of Zimmer, it's gonna retract everything for what they have to do. So we'll see. So I don't know why Mike McCarthy put out there that he got an agent and all that. Boy, we don't care. You don't even have no more contract. So what are we doing?
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
I mean, he put his house on sale.
Yeah, that told me a lot right there. If you put your house on sale, then that says a lot. That says a whole lot to me.
So the hearing is that they had the talks, or they here in Dallas anyway. And I was on 105.3 The Fan this afternoon. Said that he said he didn't know if it was true. He said he just don't quote. He just telling you what some of the word is coming out of Cowboys is that Mike McCarthy and Jerry have made a mutual agreement to split.
Mm.
Well, we gonna see.
Mm.
I don't trust that. I don't believe that though, because he was fighting too hard to stay.
Well, listen, I think we need to be more disciplined anyway. We need to actually go out and get an OC who basically is a little bit more creative. You know what I'm saying? Especially the discipline part as well. We are so undisciplined at times, it costs us games. Somebody with better time management, we always talk about his time management skills every week almost. So maybe that ship has sailed. I mean, if he has other opportunities out there in the NFL, so be it. Good luck to him. But him coming back, I don't think that's going to be the right move. To be honest with you, I just don't.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Uh, it's going to be a very interesting off season. It's going to be a very interesting. Um, I just I don't even want to speculate. What kind of moves we're going to make this off season. It's just because we just had. I've never seen a team have this horrible of off season. And just think about it. We're right below 500. We didn't make any major moves except sign CD and Dak. And up until last week, we were still in the thick of things for the playoffs. So, what could this team have been if we would have made some off-season moves?
Mm,
You
that's
know,
the great unknown. That's the great unknown. What would have happened if we would have signed Pollard back, or Henry, or Saquon? So I know everybody's like, "Wow, the great unknown." I don't know. Or what if we'd have kept Dan Quinn and got rid of Mike McCarthy? It's the great unknown right now, bro. It's the great unknown. I don't know what we're gonna do,
yeah,
especially with the draft coming on too, and basically if Jerry Jones wants to sign a head coach, who's gonna be the head coach? Who's gonna be his assistants? What's gonna happen with Will McClay? Because I think this is Will McClay's maybe what? This is last year on the contract. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what direction we go in. Especially now we got a Netflix special coming out. Oh my god, that's gonna be something else. That's gonna be something else. I don't think he should come out with it right now, to be honest with you. But Jerry's gonna do it.
well,
Like
this will probably be off season that we end up being on. Uh,
what? Hard Knocks.
yeah,
Oh Lord, I hope not. Oh, I pray that we. I hope not. Have somebody else go out there in Hard Knocks. We have enough drama as it is. We have enough drama. We don't need to be on Hard Knocks. Oh no, no, we don't need that. Half our team might be new because we have 27 unrestricted free agents. So half our team gonna be younger and newer. So I don't know. I don't even think that's a good idea. But Jerry Jones, there's no such thing as bad publicity when it comes to the Cowboys. I don't know.
Jalen Hurts is not playing Sunday.
I figured that.
Yeah, he out. They just announced it.
well, that's kind of why on my pool I picked the Cowboys to win this game on Sunday.
That Kenny Pickett's playing. He practiced fully today, but they're gonna feature Saquon. They're
Of
gonna feature
course,
Saquon. They're gonna give Saquon the ball left and right.
of course, they're gonna give him the ball, but you know,
Yeah, that's what because they trying to see if that's what's to talk today as well. Do they go ahead and keep him and let him keep running him to try to break the record, the Eric Dickerson's record, or do you go ahead and sit him and not risk the injury?
Because he needs what 229 yards to break the record.
Hmm.
they should get that easily.
But he should
He's
get
a,
that between these last two games anyway.
They played the Giants the last game.
Right.
So you
But they
figure.
said it well, it all depends. They said that it all depends on Serenera said it's gonna depend on him playing these last two games, depending on if they're still in if they're still in the spot to where they can get home field advantage. If they can't get the home field advantage, then there's no need to play none of them.
That's right. There's no need to play them. That's right. If they can't get the number one seed,
well, I doubt if they get that,
because it's gonna come. It's gonna come down to Minnesota and the Lions because they
and
play the
this
last
and
game of the
yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah.
I just hope Jerry and his son are seeing the other teams in the NFC that are playing lights out and have a better record than we do. Hopefully, they're looking at their team and saying, "How can we improve our team to match the talent that they have?" That's the one thing I hope they're looking at. Forget about selling newspapers and Netflix specials. I get it, but hopefully they just doing a deep dive. Said, "Listen, we need to add more talent. We lost talent. We didn't replace any of it, really. Because if not, we're gonna have another season like this one. If they don't, even though we're gonna have a third place schedule, we have to do something. They have to do something. Even though we had injuries too, but still, there's other teams out there with injuries. Detroit has a bunch of injuries, and they still playing hard. They still winning. So we got to do something.
So who do you I know we we've given up hope. I'm not gonna say giving up hope, but we kind of accepted the fact that we're not a playoff team and we're not going to the playoffs, and um, we haven't been a very good team all year. Who would you? I don't want to use the word root for. Who do you see making it all the way? Because I don't see Detroit making it. 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was like, yeah, I think that Detroit would do it, but they got too many injuries, and they've had a lot of close games, and I don't like their coaches. Um,
Mentality about going for it all the
yeah,
time.
yeah, I don't like that at all.
If I had to
So who,
pick
who do
one
you think?
team,
Yeah, who do you think is if you had to put your money on one team, especially in the NFC, who would you put it on?
oh my God, if I had to put money, man, it, I hate the Eagles. I really do. I hate the Eagles. I hate them with a passion. But if I had to put money on it, would be them, only because they have one of the best defenses in the NFC, and they have one of the best running backs. And in the playoffs, when the weather starts to actually, get colder and snow and rainy, you have a running game, and they have a great offensive line. So if I had to pick one team, it would be the Eagles. Unfortunately, I thought about Green Bay, but I said, nah, Green Bay's gonna have to go on the road again, and this year they're gonna have to play maybe the Lions or the Vikings in the playoffs. So I don't know, but to me, if I had to put my money on it, it would be the Eagles. Unfortunately, because they have a good running game. The defense is playing lights out, even though they lost to the Commanders last week. Saquon Barkley, he's healthy. He's a difference maker out there. So it would be the Eagles, unfortunately. And then the AFC, I would actually go with the Ravens. The Ravens are peaking at the correct moment right now. And I don't know if Kansas City's going to have enough leprechauns out there calling calling the referees. I call them leprechauns. I don't know if they're going to be out there calling enough penalties for them to beat the Ravens. I think the Ravens, now their defense is playing a lot better. Lamar, after that little bye he had, is playing lights out. So I picked the Ravens. So it might be the Ravens versus the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I don't think Buffalo's defense as is stout because they've been giving up a lot of points. A lot of points. And Kansas City, I just don't know. I just don't have a good feeling about their O line come playoff time. They can get away with playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but when it comes down to playing better teams, I don't think their O line is going to hold up as much. So that's why I have the Ravens versus the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, the Eagles.
I have actually I have Green Bay. I feel like Green Bay has peaked at the right time. I feel like Green Bay is balling. Jordan Love, he's connecting with his receivers. Josh Jacobs is playing great ball as well. I think they have totally peaked at the right time. The only reason why I can't pick I won't pick the Lions is because they lost their running back, and plus they still have a lot of injuries on defense. And these teams that's going to be in the playoffs, their defenses and their O lines are much better than what Detroit has been playing up to now. But I just think Green Bay is playing lights out right now. Um, and AFC side, I also picked the Ravens. I said on the AFC side, the only thing that scares me with the AFC side is that it has to go through Kansas City, and they cheat so much for Kansas City in Kansas City. But I did pick the Ravens to finally go to Kansas City and beat Mahomes and put him out. Um, I know Josh Allen beat him early in the season, but I don't know if they can do it in KC. But I think the Ravens is had picked at the right time with everything, and I think they are the ones that can go to KC and beat Kansas City. Because if they don't have the Revs and the other team getting all the penalties that they get or whatever, Kansas City they really can struggle. They can struggle. But that's my picks. I mean the Eagles are playing good. They do have a great O line. They do have a great defense. Saquon Barkley has played out of his mind this year. Have to give him credit where credit is due. Have to give Kellen Moore credit that he realized that they needed to run the ball. They had Saquon Barkley for a reason and not just continually on the pass game. So I do see that I think the Eagles is gonna give any team a run for their money. I think the Eagles give any team a run for their money. But I don't know. It's just something about me feel like Green Bay has really peaked at the right time.
Um, I am. I'm kind of torn between Green Bay and Minnesota,
True.
and the only reason why I say those two teams is because I think that Minnesota's defense is just a little bit better than Green Bay's, in my opinion. I think that the couple of games, like you said, I think Jordan Love and that offense is doing pretty good. I think that the couple of games that they did lose, Jordan Love was out in the beginning of the year, wasn't he? Um, so I like Minnesota's defense. I like their scheme, um, and I think that they might just surprise a few people. I don't think it's all Sam Darnold. Um, I think Sam Darnold's playing better. I think he's playing a little bit more comfortable. I think he's playing with house's money, because he's playing on a, he's essentially saying, look, I got to play for a contract next year, whether it be here in Minnesota or someplace else. So, and they got a big decision to make this off season as
Yeah.
to whether to keep Darnold or go ahead and start the rookie. Who was it? JJ McCarthy from
They drafted.
Michigan.
Minnesota. I thought he
Yeah,
was overrated though. I thought JJ was so overrated. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good argument though. Sam is playing good. Then you have JJ, which is don't forget it. He's on a rookie contract, so it's not going to cost you that much. Like Sam Donald probably wants the bag.
well, um, he's not gonna be up there with as far as the bag. He's not gonna get up there in no top 10 or nothing like that. And even if they take him to the Super Bowl, I don't see him getting in the 50s.
You don't think so?
No,
50s? If he
no,
goes to the Super Bowl,
no,
what, 45?
It's no different than when golf took the Rams to the Super Bowl his first time. It wasn't. He didn't. They didn't get to the Super Bowl because of golf. They got up there because they played solid defense and essentially had a decent run game.
You know who's his backup, right? Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes got 40 million.
Yeah, but that's
But Danny
yeah,
Downs
but
got 40 million because he was the starting quarterback at another team, so he carried over with that 40 million.
I get. No, I'm saying I get that, but that's going. He's listen. If I was Donald, I said, "What? Danny Dimes got 40 million, and I'm better than him, and I took my team to the Super Bowl. So his agent is going to use him as the baseline to go up. I'm just saying, if I was an agent, that's
I
exactly
mean,
what I'm
if
doing.
yeah, now if he take him to the Super Bowl, then I could see him getting at least that. If he take him to the Super Bowl, I could see him getting at least that. But um, in all honesty, I don't see them going to the Super Bowl. I see them make playing uh, um in the first round or maybe making it to the second round. But it just gonna depends if they who they play in that second round. Well, if they get the number one seed, then they would only have two games to get to the Super Bowl. So, but I don't know. Like I just don't know because Sam is it all Sam? Because I mean he got two good receivers. His defense is playing well. They have a running game. You know,
Tight end is good too.
yeah. So I don't know. So pressure breaks pipes, and sometimes him coming up under that type of pressure, we don't know what we're gonna get. Now the ones that's been there and then did it before, you can kind of say, okay, and that's the reason why I say Green Bay is peeping at the right time. Lions. The only reason why I'm out on the Lions is because of all of the injuries that they have. And they lost, they another one of their running backs. That's the only reason why I'm out on the lines because of the injuries that they have. I know they still found ways to win, but those wins that they found to win were also bad teams. You're finna play good teams and healthy teams versus your non-healthy team. So that's my only objection to it, or whatever. And I'm not, of course, I'm not Atlanta. Atlanta one and done. Even if they do get in, they one and done. I feel like Tampa one and done. If they get in, one and done. So only teams I see from the NFC side that I see pushing over is Eagles, Green Bay, and Minnesota. Because anybody else is going for me, it's one and done.
yeah. Like I said, that's kind of my take on it. Um, the injuries to Detroit and the overconfidence of their head coach, I think, is going to bite them in the ass. Um, um, Philly, uh, if they run Saquon, if they continue to run Saquon, and Smith doesn't have key drops,
Mm.
because he'll catch a million passes, and then it's just that one pass that he'll just in my opinion that he'll just, as sure-handed as he is, we'll have that one drop um, that could hurt them. And I think their defense is playing solid. Um, I just think that and Jeff, how you doing, Jeff? By the way, since we're talking about them Eagles,
Is he frozen?
What's going on? No,
no,
I'm not frozen at all. I'm listening.
Yeah, no, no,
they
no.
got
Your picture's
yeah.
frozen. Your
What?
picture's frozen. I said, oh Lord, he frozen.
Yeah, they get. I think that they have to keep level heads. I don't. They Philadelphia sometimes those guys can get a little hot headed, and I'll let Jeff
Shit,
rebuttal to that.
that's Philly.
No rebuttal needed.
Uh, I mean, so what is, now that you came on, what is your take on some of the outbursts that you've seen, on your sideline and on the field by some, especially your defensive players?
It's it's hard. Like you can only see what we can see from camera angles and from what we see out there. So we don't know what's going on. Body language says a lot, right? But at the same time, like these dudes are fighting. So we don't really know if there's any contentious type attitudes or whatever. Vic's not down there, right? So any sort of um, issues that I guess you're seeing on the sideline goes back to Sirianni, which is things that we've talked about in the past, and the needing of Big Dom to step in and keep people separate. Um, the defensive line coach to step in and be like, "Hey, no, I got my guys. I don't need you stepping in." Yelling, talking, motivating, whatever the case may be. Um, it's odd, but at the same time, like I love the fight that I'm seeing from them. But at the same time, it's like, do I really want to see them fighting with their coaches? I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird, but I mean, if it works, I can roll with it, dude. I mean, what do you want me to say?
Oh, nothing. I mean, it's not something that I mean, the Phil. Obviously, you're a diehard Phillies fan, and I admire you know, your take on your team. Even when they're doing good, you're very honest in your assessment of them. It's not like you think that they are the great greatest thing since sliced bread, like some people think of their teams,
Hmm.
um, especially some of us Cowboy fans. But I just feel like I don't want I don't I just feel like the edge that your coach is has been rubbing off on the has rubbed off on the players a little bit, and sometimes you would think that would be a good idea,
Yeah.
but and that's why I'm thinking Detroit is as good as they've been playing. They have the personality of their coach, and I think that that's going to come back to bite them. Um,
It
I
could.
know you. I think at the beginning of the season, we have some concerns about your coach's demeanor on the sideline and during the press conferences and things like that.
Yeah, trust me,
So
it's not even just this year. It's been every year since he's been the coach.
so, but I
I mean,
think this has just been
it's
it's
wild, right?
been
Because even Pat McAfee, like they make fun of him, Sirianni, right? They're like, "Oh, this guy's a big dumb dipshit." Like that's what he constantly says about him. Just as often as they talk about him, they're like, "Oh, everybody thinks Sirianni's some big dumb dipshit." He can be in some instances a big dumb dipshit, and then in some cases, like he's one of the greatest motivator of players that I think I've ever seen. But it's like, how often do you toe that line? And can you find a middle ground to that? Or is it just like I'm a big dumb dipshit who can also kind of motivate players? Or I'm a really good guy who can motivate players, but that's as far as it goes. I don't know. But I can't knock his record, though. As much as we can hate on the guy for what he says and how he acts and the way he talks to fans and players and da da da. Like his record is synonymous with those of coaches who have been phenomenal in the NFL. So take the good with the bad, maybe. I don't know.
Well, you know,
Well,
his personality fits Philly though, because his personality is how the Philly fan base is in Philly though. If you really
Fair,
think about it though, think
fair,
about it. That's exactly
fair.
he acts
Yeah,
just like the
man. Yeah,
fan
yeah,
base
yeah,
though. You
yeah,
know
yeah.
that. He acts just
Totally
like the
fair.
fan base. If you
Yep.
go to Philly, he acts just like the fans.
Yeah, it's fair.
And it's crazy. If you listen to Sirius Satellite Radio, the Philly station or FM, he sounds exactly like the fan base and the announcers. So that's why I'm like, man, he's a perfect fit for them.
Yeah,
He's a
no,
perfect fit.
I can't disagree. I wish he wasn't such a perfect fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, as perfect as he is for the city and for that team, there are still some areas where it's like, come on, bro. Like, we can do things slightly different and get, a much different result. But, at the end of the day, like, what he's doing is working. So can we really knock his hustle for what he's doing? Not really.
Well, he has Big Dom to save him. If he get into any type of altercation, he got Big Dom. Big Dom goes everywhere. Like he was getting ready to
Even
get
more
on one of
so.
the defensive linemen. Here come Big Dom. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, you got a
Yeah.
bodyguard on the sidelines too?
Even
What
more
is
so
this?
now that his position
That's
is has changed.
crazy. I've never seen that. You got a bodyguard on the sidelines, bro.
Yeah, he's a capo, bro. He's a
He
capo.
got Big Dom on the sideline. Like,
He's
yo,
a
we're not
capo.
having that today.
Think about what he is, man. Right? Like, think about families, right? We'll
South
call them
Jersey
families,
kid.
right? Think about families. Like, what is Big Dom? He's a capo.
You know he Italian.
Everything about him. He's always there, always around when big decisions are made. When people need to be tightened up, he's here to tighten them up. When people are there to be let loose, he's there to let them loose. Like Big Dom's a capo, bro. He's a Philadelphia Eagles capo. Somebody get him a suit and a tie. Forget the tracksuit, bro. Give him a suit and tie. From now on.
You know, I mean, both of them have the personality of Philadelphia. If you ever been to, you know that. Go downtown Philly and whatever, South Street, wherever.
Yeah.
Go get you a Philly cheesesteak. That's just the personality of Philly. That's just so that's why with Sirianni talking to the fans or whatever, he thinks he's a fan sometimes. I'm like, dude, you a head coach. You the leader.
Yeah.
Why you acting like you a
Yeah.
fan?
Yeah, man.
He acting like he a fan.
But
And that's
I
the
think
problem with him.
I think that's why, as much as we hate him, we love him as much as we do.
Yeah, he gonna have his Beat Dallas t-shirts on this weekend.
I doubt it. I doubt it because that did not play well the last time he did it. Like he had to eat massive amounts of crow after that one, bro.
That's just like I said. He's a fanboy. He's a head coach who's a fanboy. I'm just saying that his personality is the Philadelphia Eagle fandom. That's if you go to Philly, that's just him. That's just him. I'm like, man, that's crazy.
You know, they have like some people that are out there. They call them player coaches, right? Like ones that are good for the players and they just love them. Like not necessarily Gerard Mayo, but oh boy in Houston, D'Amico Ryans, right?
Yeah.
They call him a players coach, right? Because he relates to the players. Sirianni's a fans coach, bro.
Yep.
He relates to the fans. He mood swings with us, with the best of them. Yeah.
Dan sure does. He is who he is. He's definitely Philly. He's definitely
like I said, that I think that's what I love about him, but also what I hate about him at the same time.
God. I mean, Rich Gannon and everybody else who left are not like he is.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
They are totally different than he is. But Jeff, I I picked the Eagles and the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Actually, even though I didn't want to pick the Eagles, but because of Saquon, that's the reason why I picked the Eagles.
I appreciate that. I'm good with the Philly side on the Super Bowl. I don't see the Ravens.
I think the Ravens playing lights out, and they
I
beat up
got
on
Buffalo.
Buffalo. That's another reason why I picked them, and they can hang with the Chiefs.
I got Buffalo. I think the Chiefs luck is going to run out round two. I really do.
Yeah, I said the same
I
thing.
hope, I hope
Yeah, I
also,
said the same
right? But
thing.
I really think that the Chiefs luck going to run out round two, and it's going to send it like shockwaves through NFL leadership offices. Like, holy shit, what do we do now? Right? The Chiefs lost. Like, we couldn't help them any more than we already have. What do we do from here? Oh, let it play out like it's supposed to, bud. I don't know. Novel.
I don't know the
Yeah.
Chiefs. The only thing with the Chiefs, right? They have the explosive players back, and that's the only thing that when I look at them as being a complete team, they have the speed back. The only thing is their running game is not efficient yet.
So I
That's
mean,
why
they
I
have
picked the
offense.
Ravens.
They have offense, but their defense is still trash, dude.
Who the Chiefs?
The Chiefs' defense has been trash.
Mm, really?
I mean,
Well, you know, lately they have, but in the beginning of the year, they were the reason why the defense was. They were reason why the Chiefs was winning. Well,
Mm.
them and the referees, but you know, we'll you know how I feel about blaming refs for things.
sorry, y'all heard my phone ring. My son just called me, and the Eagles fight song went off. You know how it is.
He said, can't blame the refs for
But
everything,
yeah,
huh, Sean?
yeah. But I got a question. I got a question for you guys. Um, and I would like for this panel to, I don't want to say settle this debate, but give your take on this debate. And
There it is.
oh my
Oh
God,
my God. We
my
you
ears are
going in the
burning.
bottom of the show.
That's my ringtone,
You
bro. What
going
do
to
you
the
want?
bottom of the
What do you want?
show.
I can't plan that, bro.
What is this, your
um,
ringtone?
That's my ringtone. Yeah.
yeah.
I can't.
That's been my ringtone for like the last decade, dude. It has not changed.
Mm.
This
Oh,
whole uh Cooper Rush Dak Prescott thing that we
oh
shouldn't have
Lord.
signed Dak to the contract that we signed him to because Cooper Rush is has won as many
And
games as
lights
Dak
out.
has this year and he's playing lights out and this and that and other. Let's all get our, you know, I would like to get my last take on this before the season ends. You know, Nikki, what you got to say about that?
What was your question?
The Cooper Rush Dak Prescott thing. You know, we paid Dak all this money and he's not playing as good as Cooper Rush has been playing.
How he can play good as Cooper Rush been playing? Dak been out the game since week 5, week 6, one of them. And on top of that,
I'll be right back.
um, defense um is not playing nearly as good as defense was playing. Um, defense is playing way better than it was playing then, and O line is playing way better than it was playing then. Running game. We didn't have a running game. If we had a running game, it wasn't going running back by committee, and we had stuck to Rico Dowdle being the starting running back to begin with. Then guess what? You wouldn't have had your quarterback out there trying to run and pull a hamstring and get hurt.
Okay.
It's no comparison. I mean, there's nothing. It's no comparison. It's game. All these games. Like I said, I'll give Cooper Rush his credit for hanging in the games, but defense. Even when Dak was playing defense, wasn't getting turnovers. They're getting turnovers now. They're giving him short yards to work with. When they get these turnovers. Um, coaching is better now. I don't know what it was, but it took them a minute to get to where they at. Took the O line 8 weeks to finally figure it out.
Yeah, after
It took
we
McCarthy 8 9 weeks to figure out. Okay, let me go ahead and make Rico Dowell the starting running back because this running back by committee is not working. We lost half of our defense the first 5 6 8 weeks of the game. So what are we doing here? Cooper Rush is winning games because the defense is playing better. Defense wins games. And that's what defense is doing. They're giving him more opportunities, creating him opportunities to stay in the game, get the ball down the field, and giving him a short yard to get the ball down the field.
all right.
Sorry about that.
No, you good. K Boogie.
Lord have mercy, Jesus, man. Listen, I'm glad that Cooper Rush is winning these games, right? But on the other hand, our schedule, the second half of the season is a little lighter than it was in the first half. We were really top heavy, right? Parsons
Yeah.
comes back. We lead in the league in sacks and getting turnovers on defense. It seemed like there's a perfect storm right now, and Cooper Rush is benefiting from the whole thing, if you ask me. Because when he played against the Eagles and the Texans, we got land-basted. And I tell everybody that. I said, look at the schedule. The Giants are playing a backup quarterback because they got rid of Danny Dimes. We beat the Commanders because of turnovers and special teams played great that day. We didn't beat the Bengals. We should have put up more than 20 points on the Bengals. The Bengals defense was averaging 31 points a game, giving up, and we only scored 20 points. So this is why I tell fans, this is a perfect storm for him. Right now, he's a backup for a reason. When he was a free agent, nobody actually sent him a contract. Nobody contacted his agent. So Jerry brought him back. So I understand fans want to talk about, well, Dak Prescott has $60 million and this and that. Listen, you a professional athlete, you're going to get paid. It's not Dak's fault. Blame that on Jerry. Every time Dak Prescott wants to negotiate a new contract, Jerry's the one that's always basically, waiting to the last minute to sign him. Instead of being proactive, he's always reactive, and that's Jerry's fault, right? So I'm not going to sit here and blame basically Dak Prescott for wanting his money. He's going to get his money. I get it. But for these fans to say that Cooper Rush is more efficient than Dak Prescott, I'm like, come on. Another thing, Cooper Rush averaged a fumble a game. Last game, he didn't fumble one time for the first time in like 9 games. So I'm like, okay, he didn't fumble. Oh, he don't turn the ball over. Yes, he does turn the ball over. It's just the fact he don't throw interceptions on a regular basis, but he fumbles a lot. So these fans pick and choose actually the stats that they want to actually reveal too because of their narrative. To me, I'm still going with Dak Prescott. Cooper Rush is a backup for a reason. If he's so efficient, I want him to – let's see if he's going to be so efficient on Sunday versus the Eagles. Because the Eagles, every time he played quarterback, they beat us by like damn near double digits. And he has like 3-4 turnovers against the Eagles. That's my thing. Against better competition, he does not step up. He does not. If they're going to say, what happened to the Tampa Bay game? I say because the coaches did not go straight up. They put 8 men in a box and Cooper beat us. CeeDee Lamb had one-on-one against a cornerback and one of their backup safeties because their main safety was out. So basically, CeeDee Lamb won against the cornerback and the safeties. And that's how we were able to beat the Bucs because they had 8 men in the box. They wasn't going to let Rico run crazy. So that's why I'm saying to myself, Cooper is being efficient because, one, Mike McCarthy had to dumb down the playbook again. He's getting the ball out quick. Cornerbacks, linebackers sit on routes. So to me, if I got to dummy down the playbook for a quarterback, you know what that means. You're not ready to be a starting quarterback in the NFL if I have to dummy down the playbook. So to me, Dak Prescott, hands down. I don't care about the $60 million. Dak Prescott gives us the best opportunity to win games. It's just the fact that Dak has to stop forcing the ball to CeeDee Lamb. That's when he gets into trouble, forcing the ball. Stop forcing the ball to CeeDee Lamb and go to some of your other receivers. Last year he wasn't doing that. Last year he wasn't forcing the ball like that to CD. This year, for all of a sudden, I don't know if the fact that CD didn't come to camp with him, but it just seemed like he was forcing him the ball. And that's my take.
Jeff, I'll let you go if you want to before I say my piece.
What was the original question? I'm sorry. I was in and out because my kids were calling me.
Cooper Rush or Dak Prescott? Who would
I
you,
mean,
as a rival team? Who would you rather face?
who would I rather face? I mean, I
Yeah,
would rather face Cooper Rush, right? He is not as capable as Dak is. Um, Dak's obviously spent much more time as a starter. He's done way more with, the time that he's been in the NFL. Um, Cooper's been a backup for a reason. I think, Kenyatta touched on it for a while. Like, he had opportunities to take contracts and nobody offered him. So people see what they see. They know what they know. Um, so from an Eagles fan standpoint, I'd much rather face Cooper Rush because he's less of a quarterback.
my only take on this is 45 total yards, passing yards in 4 quarters. That's all I really got to say. Our Cooper Rush had one game with 45 total yards passing in a game, and he wasn't pulled in no third quarter or pulled. He played the whole game. So that's all I can say. I think that he's a serviceable quarterback. I think he's a good backup. I think he's probably the best backup that the best backup that we could have right now. I don't think that he has a zip on his passes. I think he may have his touch passes may be as good as or as adequate as Dak Prescott's. I just don't feel like that. He's a better quarterback. I also think that you know once we had started having a run game with Rico Dowdy, it opened up the passing lanes for him. Teams had to stop playing. They had to stop playing us 8 in the box and start, playing that too high safety look. I also think that Mike McCarthy um, decided to stop calling plays that ran east and west and started going north and south. I was tired of seeing that wide receiver jet sweep, 3 or 4 times a game with CD. Um, so I think the play calling has got a little bit better. But but I really don't think that you, you okay over there, Nikki.
That's how I feel about them talking about Cooper Rush.
So in a
You know that
nutshell,
pause. I was like, what is that? What's going on here? Wait a minute. What are we doing?
yes. So in a nutshell, um, I wish people would stop comparing. This is not a situation like the Giants had, where you got your quarterback that's got paid over $40 million a year, and he hasn't done anything. He had one solid year in his whole time that he's been in the league.
Right.
One solid year. So hopefully we will never have to discuss this again.
We
But
discussing it. They'll be discussing it again this week.
Yeah, especially against the
they will, but
Eagles.
we won't.
Yeah, we won't. We can't. I be telling people stop giving certain conversations life. You already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Our opinion ain't gonna change on it. So just stop giving certain conversations life. And then it eliminates you being frustrated.
Yeah, you right about that. Yeah, it's just in life in general.
You just
So
laugh at it. Just laugh.
I don't even laugh at it no more, Kenyatta.
Really, I just laugh, man. Just laugh because everybody has their narrative about Dak Prescott anyway, so it is what it is.
All right.
Oh,
Um.
I know this game on Prime is terrible.
Oh, it is.
Seahawks.
That's
Having it
three
on
games in a
mute is
row.
a
That's three
godsend
games
right
in a
now.
row. They've been terrible.
Honestly,
like three. You
did,
know, I
did you
think
guys did you guys watch Netflix last night? And it crash on you?
No,
Oh
no,
it
my. It
crashed.
I didn't have
It
no
was
issues.
great though. I didn't crash.
so it didn't crash on me, but my picture was probably three or 4 seconds behind the actual play,
I
behind the
heard that.
audio.
Mm,
I heard that.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, my audio was, by the time they was playing the replay,
Mm-hmm.
they had finished. They were on the next play.
Really?
So
And
Wow.
who was the first person this morning advocating for it to happen again?
Who's that?
Jerry.
Y'all quarter,
No, I
y'all,
mean it's
y'all
money
team
for him,
man.
right? He gets it. It's money.
NFL should always be on Christmas. I say
I don't
yes.
have no problem. I
Hey.
say, here you go. He gonna try to make us he gonna try to get us a Christmas game. I say, there you go.
Yeah.
I say, bruh, stay in your lane. Like you are always the first one to have to comment on something.
As
well,
long as
it's
it's as
I,
long as it's local, right? As long as it's what we call CONUS in the continental United States, right? He's good with it. The moment they talk about going overseas, he's like, no, 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 can't do that. Can't do that. Can't take away from my revenue.
But he said this thing that he wanna play, he wanna play in Mexico.
yeah, because that's
Well,
the.
because half the
I
fan
mean,
base is from down there.
Right, exactly.
Let's
so
be
yeah.
fair.
He said, I'll play in Mexico and
I bet you
I'll
will.
play in London. I ain't going nowhere else.
He want to go to Brazil. He probably want to go to Brazil too. Nasty.
No, he don't want to go to
Go
Brazil. He don't
ahead.
want to go nowhere else but Mexico.
Uh-uh.
He don't want nothing in England. He don't want nothing in Germany.
Uh-uh.
Um, with I mean Brazil, I guess went okay, so I would expect to see more games down there. But
Yeah.
Jerry would absolutely love to have something in a soccer stadium
Mm-hmm.
just inside Mexico, right?
Yep.
With enough U.S. draw and Mexican draw to fill up a stadium and make a ton of money.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's why his franchise is worth $10 billion.
You're absolutely correct.
It don't matter without no championships though. Recently, man, I don't know.
No, no,
I need to talk to Jerry. I need to talk
of
to him.
all people, trust me, I'm with you, right? But that money,
Mm-hmm.
Shit ain't putting no money in my pocket.
Right.
Can I
no,
go
he's
buy some
taking money from
cowboy
your
stock?
pocket.
Well, can I buy some cowboy stock? We got
That's
some
money
stock.
from your pocket.
Shit.
You ain't getting no
Can't
returns
buy.
on that, bro.
You can't buy no stock like Green Bay stock. So
Right.
shoot.
No,
What the
you
hell
What are y'all
Jerry
can't buy
doing?
that Green Bay stock. That's true.
so what are your thoughts on because I don't think we discuss it last week, Michael Vick?
Um,
I
no,
think
we
so.
didn't.
What
Okay,
about Mike?
so we didn't discuss Michael Vick. Now this week we have the Michael Vick that we can touch on. We can touch on Teddy Bridgewater coming back and being signed by the Lions after he won championship with the school. Then you have today them announcing Deshaun Watson is going to be becoming head coach.
D Jack.
So what are your thoughts on first off, let's talk about Michael Vick. What are your thoughts on this with Michael Vick with becoming head coach in Norfolk
Good
and
for
the
him.
pet the what they call it the people with the dogs. Um,
Peter,
Peter, they're all writing
of
out
course
these
they're gonna
letters
go
and
against him.
saying that how y'all give a coach a job that killed dogs. I was like, child, that man done served his time. He done gave his time back to justice for that. Like y'all expect a person not to just ever live again because
Nope.
they made a mistake? Do
Nope.
y'all or something happened? Y'all expect them not to ever live life and get back to a normal life again?
Nope.
Like, come on. Like it's ridiculous.
You
It's,
know,
In
it's
Peter's
their
only
eyes,
saying
once
that
an
because it's
offender,
Michael Vick.
always an offender, bro.
You know that? Because
huh?
they have dog fights and chicken fights all down south, in the deep south, and I don't see Peter going down there trying to stop
No.
And, and this was just a case with Michael Vick. This was just people that got mad at him about money and decided to turn on him. That's what this whole thing came down to. Because as long as they were getting paid and the money they wanted and the money they were getting, they were cool with it. When Vic decided that, hey, I'm not finna keep paying all this money, I'm finna stop this, they decided to turn on him. They decided to set him up with cameras and turn on him. So I think he's learned a lot from that. I think he's great with learning the game, with teaching the game, especially in the quarterback position wise. He was one of the best to ever do it. So kudos to him. I feel like everybody deserves a chance to get their life back, after they go through some horrible things. I mean, they letting Trump back in the White House, right?
it. Oh Lord.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm
how
saying,
long
I
I'm
ain't
ago?
not,
even
and I'm
gonna
not
How
even
talk
being
long
about
ago
that.
funny,
was all that Vic stuff?
you know? Huh?
I mean,
How long ago was all that Vic stuff? That was early
Right,
2000s,
oh,
right?
That
really,
was a long
yeah,
right.
time ago. It's
Like
over and
long
done
time
with.
ago.
So
That's
you
over done
talking
with.
like 15 years ago, at
Right.
least?
yeah,
That man,
more than maybe more than that.
that
It's
man
his
have
More
paid
than
name.
that
his
later?
It's
debt
his
I
to
mean,
name
you
though.
don't
society.
think Buddy has like done what he needs to do since then? Went to jail,
Right.
got out, played in the NFL, got out, has been doing all this charity work and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
to say, hey, look, I understand the wrongs that I did.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how I'm going to give back by supporting the anti clause
Right.
to dogfighting and everything else. Like, but that's Peter, man. They're always just, nope, we're just going to take you right back down. Take it right back down.
Yeah, it's
No,
crazy.
you can't do anything, right? Who
Right.
cares that you gave your time and service back? Nope, you can't have it. This is your moniker forever. No.
Right. Right.
Good
Mm-mm.
for him for getting the job. Good for
Right.
Yeah,
DJs for getting the job.
D-Jack too.
Right.
I
Good
like
for
D-Jack.
DJ for
Always
And that's
getting
have.
and
the
that's
He's
a
a
job.
cool
weird
dude.
thing for him, right? Because he don't
Right.
fit the mold of a head coach.
It's
But
no.
if that's what he wants to do and he does well,
More kudos to
good
him.
for you, bro. I would say the same thing about Romo. I would say the same thing about Witten, Emmett. My
Right.
old cousin Nate that played offensive line for you guys. Like any of it, any player that comes
Any
out and
player.
decides they want to go into coaching,
Right.
like good
And
for
they
them.
and if they succeed
Yeah.
at it, that is awesome.
Yeah,
You
Give
know?
back to your community. Give them back.
exactly.
Exactly. Exactly.
Build the next generation up to be the best players they can possibly be, to come into the NFL and shine light on the sport.
That's it. That's it.
Shine a light on them. Shine a light on them.
So what are y'all thoughts on Teddy Bridgewater coming back and the Lions signing him?
Same. If
I
they feel
mean,
better about him
Why
signing him at
though?
32
They
years
trying to get
old,
him a ring. They trying to
coming
get
off
him
the
a ring. They
street,
have to. They have to. They have to because they have a backup already.
it's got some Joey Flack vibes.
They got Hooker back there, who's going to be
Yeah.
legit in a couple years. So I'm like, they brought him back. Oh, because if they go to the Super Bowl, they want to make sure Teddy has an opportunity to win a ring. That's the only reason why they probably bring him back. There's nothing wrong with it, But I'm like, wow, he's taking up a
Yeah.
roster spot.
From who though?
That's another thing. They have so many injuries on defense. I thought they needed all their roster spots.
Yeah, that was something. Somebody talked about that on one of the shows today, about like the timelines throughout the playoffs and like who could come back. And they were saying something about like Branch could come back in the NFC Championship game, and if the Lions make the Super Bowl, then Hutch could come back potentially, but that's a stretch. And I was like, man, if they got all these dudes that want to come back, I hope they got roster spots for them.
I'm going to blame T.O. and Rod Woodson for that. T.O. and Rod Woodson messed it up for everybody. Oh, we come back. We just got to get us one of them hydraulic chambers. We can chill out in the chamber every day. We going to come back. Blame that on Rod Woodson and T.O.
No,
They
you can
started that.
blame it on that Lay's commercial with Emmett and Emmett and Jerry Rice and Dan
Randy
Marino
Moss,
and
Dan
Randy Moss.
Marino.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, that's funny. That was a funny one too.
Christian McCaffrey.
Oh
What's
my
wrong with
Any
God,
him?
is
news
he?
about him today?
No,
What happened?
what's the?
What happened?
So some doctor who apparently operated on him came out and said that he had some significant PCL injury that had never been talked about or exposed or anything, and that it may be problematic for him moving forward.
Mm.
Well, he's been injured his whole
Whole
career.
career.
He's got TG3 vibes all over him right now.
You know what?
Yeah.
He's not a really big guy. He's like muscular or whatever, but he's not big.
Yeah,
And so he's taking a pounding inside.
that's what I say. TG3, Todd Gurley, right? He reminds me of Todd Gurley.
Oh, I wanted the Cowboys to drop that boy so bad, man. Oh, I was like, we getting Gurley. And all of a sudden the Rams snuck up and got him.
He wasn't durable. I mean, unfortunately for him, he was uber talented, right? Uber talented, just not.
Yeah, he was.
But I mean,
Oh, I
that's
feel bad for him.
that position too, right? Like,
Now you need a big body to play running back in the NFL, man. Those are some big dudes hitting you, coming at you full with full steam and anger and aggression.
yep,
They're trying to knock your block off.
yep. Every 255-pound linebacker just wants to end your life every play.
And the defensive tackles, don't forget about them. Don't forget about the ends.
No,
Setting the
yeah,
edge.
no, absolutely them. But the linebackers
Yo.
normally get a little bit more of a running head start at.
You know,
They
that's one
trying to
reason. Yeah, that's one reason why they pay so much attention to roughing the passer.
Yeah,
You know, because these guys are huge, and
yeah.
the force of taking the player down and slamming on this turf concrete. I mean, it's turf, not concrete, but this turf is something. You know, I remember hitting the ground. You know, when I was playing football, it was just real cold and the ground was solid, and I just got tackled and hit my shoulder and dislocated my shoulder, and I didn't have no force on me. So just imagine what happens when you have force on it.
Mm. That's why I'm glad CD Lamb is not playing anymore.
Yeah, I mean they should have been shut that down
Whew.
anyway, because they could
I'm like,
actually just
man,
make something
permanent damage.
worse. Yeah, it could
Mm.
be something worse, something really worse.
Yeah, but then you have fans saying, "Oh, he's not a quitter. We need him to play." For what?
No.
For what would he
No,
play
he'd
for?
improved. He'd improved his point that
Exactly.
he's a tough player. Shit, just be done with it.
He's good. He can shut it down.
Yeah. We don't need him to play, especially not in the rain and the cold in Philly this weekend, because it's gonna rain.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. I
gonna
don't
be
want
like
that.
35 degrees and rainy. Why you playing, CD? You
Don't
don't
do it.
need to.
Don't do it.
No.
Oh, Jesus.
So we're
35. You say 35 and rainy?
35 and rainy, 35
And
between
we're wearing
35
fucking
and
Kelly
38.
Green, bro. It's the Buffalo game all over again, dude.
Yeah, but we're gonna see how Cooper Rush basically handles a wet ball, and CD's not playing either.
Yeah, so I'm saying it's gonna be the Buffalo game all over again.
he gonna get so
And we don't have Jalen Hurts. Right?
Damn, Nikki.
Kenny
I'm trying
Pickett's
to
going to
be
start, but I guarantee you
diplomatic
Tanner
about it.
McKee's
Like,
going to
nah, he
play.
getting toe up.
I guarantee it.
he gonna get toe up.
There's going to be some very angry guys on defense this week.
And I try to tell fans that too. I'm like, yo, you know how angry the Eagles gonna be from losing that
Very.
game against the
They're
Commanders?
going to be very angry, bro. Very angry.
I said, hide your women and children. I said, hide them. Telling you, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a brawl in Philly. Hide
So
'em.
before we get out of here today, let's talk about the topic of the week of today. Beyonce.
What?
So what are y'all thoughts on her performance?
Like I said,
If
that was
any,
what?
if anybody seen it.
I
I ain't
saw
see
it.
it.
I was like, this is not the Beyonce I know. Because I saw her in concert a long time ago, and it was really good. I don't know what that was yesterday. I know she was in Houston, Texas, but I was like, what is this?
Well, do y'all think the NFL um have certain rules on performance, and
They,
some
they
things
Yeah, of
have
course
to
they
yeah,
do.
be,
they do.
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
I think that could
yeah.
have actually played a role in her, because I've seen her in concert as well, and she's a very great entertainer. But I think that, you know, NFL is kind of, they got their rules or whatever. Now, for me too, I think another thing, I don't know, for me, I kind of felt like I seen her trying to like just stay focused on what was at hand because of the story, the Jay Z situation that's going on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure if
Mm,
that played a role into her performance as well yesterday. I mean, I think she did a good job. I think most importantly, you seen that how they are building their daughter up, to become to be into this entertainment world. But at the end of the day, she got paid $20 million just for that show yesterday.
mm,
I do like the fact that she went and got, one of the HBCU colleges to join her. Um, I think a lot of people was kind of like over the top about the country singing, or her singing country, or however. Um, But overall, I think it was a good it was a good performance. I'm not gonna say it was her best, but I think it was a good performance. But I think the NFL played a role in it as well. I mean, if nothing else, she got to the end zone before the Texans more time than the Texans.
Oh, the Texans did get a safety though. They got
Yeah,
a safety, so they were in the end zone. They got a safety.
yeah, for sure.
Right, end
So
zone,
my
end
yeah,
zone.
you
Oh
silly.
damn. Damn.
So
Damn.
my thing of it is what's the difference in her doing her performance in Houston and Dolly Parton doing her halftime show
Here in
on
Dallas
Thanksgiving last year in Dallas?
with
What's the
that
difference?
Cowboy chili uniform on it, 76.
Yeah,
And I mean, I think Dolly did well for her age. I think for what should expect from her age, she did well for her age. I didn't have no knocks on Dolly, but I don't understand why people is just so caught up in the moments of people's lives and things that you have nothing to do with. This is all
I was just about to say.
speculation with Jay Z. He has not been proven guilty of anything. We've not been, it's all speculation. So, like, how do you want to uphold his daughter or his wife for things that's coming out in the media with him? She is an entertainer. That's what she does. That's what she came to do. That's her hometown. So it was good to see them have someone from someone's hometown perform, at a game, at a volume game like that. You know, it was good to see that. I just don't understand people, that sit back and feel like they have to judge everything that a person does.
Well,
Social
the
media.
biggest, yeah, it's social media, but the biggest thing is that she was in, she's in Houston, Texas. What is her little country song? What is the theme of, well, I don't know the words. What, this is Texas, or this ain't what, I don't even know how to say it. Yeah.
I,
I thought it was, I don't listen to country music. However, I thought she did good. And like you said, Nikki, for her to incorporate the HBCUs into it, I thought it was, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was great for the time. And I mean, but I did notice though with Netflix is that you got the whole show with Netflix. Now that might be the only biggest upside to having the game on Netflix. You got to see the whole halftime show.
nothing censored on Netflix. Nothing censored.
They did the whole halftime show. They didn't just do how you do if you're watching Fox or whatever. They do so much of it, and then they're like, okay, back to commercials. You know.
Oh my
Um,
God! I thought that was the longest halftime show. That I thought hell it was longer than the Super Bowl halftime show.
It was. It was.
yeah, I think it was.
It was.
I think it was. And it's good to see some of the hometown people that was with her dancing with her. My cousin is her graphic designer and her her outfits designer. Another girl from my hometown, she danced with her yesterday. So it's awesome that she's giving people who never thought they had dreams this big chances.
Yeah,
That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad she, giving back to the community and whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever
she
happens with
always have. She always gave back to the community. She built a whole apartment complex out there for low income.
and that Jay-Z thing happened way before they even got together anyway.
If it happened,
Allegedly.
allegedly,
Allegedly that it happened a long time ago. Me and my friends talk about that all the time about the whole thing. I'm not gonna get in on the show, but that happened a long time ago. And fans gotta understand that too. That was way before her. Way before all those allegations. Way before her. But anyway, I don't know. Hey, what
right?
do y'all think about this whole Cousins and Penix deal? Because they making a big deal about that too. They're saying that the Cowboys can have the same situation in a year or two if we draft a quarterback in the first round.
Well, it's for me. If we draft the quarterback in the first round, and let's say 20, because this season finna be what 24. Well, it's finna
Yeah,
be
like in
25.
26. In
26.
26.
So we dropped the quarterback in year 26. I mean, it's nothing to be be mad about because at the end of the day, if you're coming up on almost the last year of Dak's contract. So that's about when you want to draft you a backup quarterback. You about coming up on your quarterback's last year of his contract to give him that whole year to sit behind Dak or however. Kirk Cousins and Penix, I think, was a very different situation because they paid Cousins 100 million, then turn around and drafted Penix. So for me, them doing that, it made Kirk Cousins already feel some type of way because they told him right before they drafted Penix that they were drafting him, and it made him already feel some type of way. I always felt like Penix was gonna get the start. I always felt like the real Kirk Cousins was gonna show up eventually. I never felt like Kirk Cousins was gonna be better in Atlanta. Kirk Cousins is the only quarterback to get all his money because he have played it smart in all these years. He have no problem playing on the tag. You want to tag me? Let me sign it because I'm a play. That's why he didn't got over $350 million being a quarterback in this league and have done absolutely nothing because he play on the tag. He don't hesitate. He's play on the tag. He don't care about being tagged. And even when he got hurt in Minnesota, he had just signed the tag. He don't care. He signed the tag, and y'all got to still pay me hurt or not. Thank you. And I'm gonna go over here and go to Atlanta and get this 100 million. Y'all think this is the first time Craig Cousins actually really had a full contract, other than when he was with the Redskins at that time?
But is he worth it though?
No,
Is Kirk Cousins really worth all this money that these teams
no,
are paying out? That's the thing
no.
too.
No, he never
No,
has.
he never have been.
But
We
they
said
still pay
this,
him
but they still pay him. We
And why
always have
though?
said this,
because when you're
and
outside of primetime Kirko, right?
right?
He's dealing. But primetime
Yeah,
Kirko
but
has always been bad until the last year or so.
you like that?
That
I
that
don't know.
part, that
I just think
part,
he overrated to me. If you ask me, I
yeah,
just think he's
no,
overrated. I don't
1,000%.
know why he's getting paid all this money. And Penix to me was the perfect pick for them because Penix, he was always talented. He was just injury prone. And
Right?
I said, you know what? If Kirk mess up this year, Penix is right there to actually
Yep.
back him up. I think it was too late though. I don't think Atlanta's going to make the playoffs. I really don't because they're going to lose this weekend anyway. And then Tampa Bay has the easier
They
schedule.
play Washington this weekend, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
they play Washington on Sunday night.
I don't
Right.
know.
Washington.
I'm honestly, I'm giving Washington their flowers, but I'm taking fucking Atlanta this week.
Really?
Yup.
I mean, it could definitely be a setup.
Michael Penix was in college before he got hurt, bro. Like he came in last week and was absolutely slinging the pill.
His accuracy is really pinpoint though.
Yes,
His
that's
accuracy is
what
really
I'm saying.
pinpoint.
Like
Yeah, he has
he
great
is
accuracy.
on point, and the fact that his his aunt is my neighbor, right, is probably playing into my bias. Right?
Probably, yeah.
Because
Probably.
I love her too, right? But you know what I'm saying? I also hate Washington, so they can they can lick the bottom of my boots if I can say it, politely.
But don't forget, it's supposed to rain all in the Northeast for the next, like this whole weekend from Saturday to Monday.
I'm good with it.
Playing in those adverse conditions, we're gonna see. Even though he did go to Washington.
I was gonna say, you know where he played, right? He played in Washington
I know.
State,
He was
bro.
out there in Seattle. My brother
Like,
lived
come
there for a
on.
long time. My nieces, so I get it. So we're gonna see.
If
gonna be
weather
rookie
was
versus
a problem
rookie.
for him playing in Washington, like it's not a problem.
Bijan's gonna have to carry them though. If they're gonna win, it's gonna be Bijan. Bijan's gonna have to carry the rock.
They're gonna have to get some to Kyle Pitts too. Kyle Pitts got to eventually show up.
Kyle Pitts gonna be a Cowboy. Watch what I tell you. Kyle Pitts gonna be a Cowboy.
I'm not even gonna go that far, right? I'm talking about right.
Watch, because they're not using him right.
They got to be willing to let him go. They got to be willing to let him go. The money that it's going to cost him to let him go, right? And the money is going to cost somebody else to let him go.
I think Atlanta has. Sometimes you can have too many weapons, and I think Atlanta has too many weapons.
They don't even have
too much. There's times when you can have too many weapons, and Atlanta has a lot of weapons.
A lot.
They have a lot. So it's going to be interesting. But like I said, I don't know why these GMs keep paying Kirk Cousins all this money. I really don't. I'm looking at Cousins like, what does he do well and what does he not do well? And I'm like saying to myself, he hasn't won any playoff games. None. And y'all still paying him all his money. It's just crazy to me. I just don't get it. I don't understand. I know his wife is from Atlanta. I get it. I get that aspect of it. But you're going to have Penix. Penix is a good quarterback. And I knew this was going to happen sooner or later. I just hopefully Dallas does not have the same issue in a couple years because everybody wants the Cowboys to select Arch Manning. If we suck that bad, and I tell everybody we're not going to be that bad to take Arch Manning. I don't think we ever be that bad in the next 3 years. I don't think that's going to happen. So I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah, Jeff, we missed you too because you didn't do the picks in the last couple weeks, man. We was like, yo, what's
man,
Jeff?
I've been so busy lately with work, dude. It's been ridiculous. Then I was on that cruise. I was out of the country and whatnot. So, yeah, man, my bad. I'm home. I'm here. I was also going through a transition phase for me, right? Like coming to terms with the fact that I'm no longer in the military anymore, like that's a huge thing for me.
I got you.
You know, after almost 21 years, not knowing that anymore to be, first and foremost it's tough.
No, I can imagine. That's like being a professional athlete. And all of a sudden you've have this regimen for like 15, 16 years, and all of a sudden you retire. It's like, okay, what I'm going to do next?
Yep. That's why I got my beard, man. Y'all seen it? I let the beard grow back. I don't have to shave anymore. It's nice, dude. Let my inner Viking show out.
The beard looks good on you, bro.
I know. I love it, bro. I'm telling you, the Viking blood that I have coursing through my body is like beard is for you, young man.
I was about to say you can't play with the New York Yankees like that, but you can play with the Mets like that. So go ahead.
I don't know what that means, but sure.
Because of the politics with all the beards. You know, the Yankees are I had to throw my Yankees in there somewhere, somehow. But it's all good. So what's up? You want to do the picks?
Yeah, let's go ahead and knock them out.
Yeah, Jeff is here now.
All right, let's get after it. All right, so we're not going to go tonight. So was it tomorrow, 1 o'clock? We got Chargers at New England. Chargers favored by 4 on the road.
On Saturday.
Yep.
I'm taking the Chargers.
Absolutely taking the Chargers.
I got Chargers.
Take what you got.
Rogers.
Chargers.
I got Chargers.
All right. And then at 4:30, right, we got Denver at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a 3-point home favorite. I'm taking Denver all day.
Yeah,
Toss up.
that's a toss up for me. But I think Jarvis is playing at home, and I think just Denver defense has been playing really lights out. And the issue with Joe Burrow and them, they don't have no defense. But I'm gonna still take Joe at home.
I'm
There's a
going
lot of questions about whether or not he can still sling it in the cold, right, with his wrist, that injury. We'll see.
Don't forget, if the Bengals beat Denver, they only be 1 game behind them for the last playoff spot. So
Oh,
that's why
that's
this
true.
is a very important game this
True.
weekend. So that's why I'm picking the Bengals.
Yeah, no, that's kind of do or die moment right there for him. All right. Then at Saturday, 8 p.m., we got Arizona at the Rams. Rams are 6.5-point favorites at home.
I'm taking the Rams.
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 There's something about Kyler Murray. Is it just me that he plays so nonchalant? Like he has no sense of urgency.
He does.
Maybe you know what? Because I don't. You know what? I thought about that too. He just goes out there. He seems like he's lackadaisical sometimes. He really does. And I'm like, yo, is it me, or that's just him? I felt the same way when I saw him playing against Carolina on Sunday.
It's ego.
I'm like, where's your sense of urgency? You say he's ego. That too, but he hasn't won anything.
No, he hasn't. But for some reason, he's still got an ego. But I'm taking.
Going to get Gannon fired.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset about that. All right, then we got Tennessee at Jacksonville. Jacksonville's favored by 1 at home.
I'm taking Jacksonville on that. Jacksonville need a point at home.
Trevor Lawrence playing or no?
No, Trevor Lawrence
he out for the season.
He out for the season.
Yeah,
Tennessee.
done.
Who's the quarterback now for Tennessee? Because they sat Will Levis.
Shoot, the quarterback. He played for the Pittsburgh Steelers too.
Was it Mason Rudolph?
Yeah. Mason Rudolph is the quarterback.
Oh, bro, give me Mason Rudolph and the Titans to upset.
What? He's missed the turnover.
I know.
I'm taking Jacksonville at home.
I can't trust Jacksonville.
I can't trust Dougie P, man. I think he's on his way out in Jacksonville, bro.
Yeah, they lost to the Raiders last weekend, but they playing home this weekend.
Yeah, I just don't see it, man. I see them losing their last game, and I see Shad Khan giving him the big old boot. All right, then we got the Jets at Buffalo. Sunday.
You already know.
Buffalo's a 9-point home favorite.
Bye-bye,
Buffalo.
Aaron Rodgers.
Is this consensus pick right here?
That's Buffalo.
Yeah. All right, we got Indy at the Giants. Indy is a 7.5 road favorite.
I'm taking Indy. The Giants are going to tank for Shador.
They trying to. Give me Indy. Give me Indy straight up. Even though Jonathan Taylor was.
Right. I was looking at my picks that I did on the board that I did. I went on last week. So I picked the Ravens. I picked the Ravens, Chiefs, Seahawks, Chargers. I actually picked Broncos on this board.
Damn, this weekend gonna be some good games on
Yeah.
board.
We got a barn burner right here. Vegas at New Orleans.
I
Vegas
didn't
is a
know who to
1-point road
pick on
favorite.
it.
That's a pick 'em.
But I just picked the Saints on that.
I mean, because they're playing at home.
Yeah,
Who's the quarterback this year?
Yeah, that's why I said at home. That's why I picked them. They
Uh,
playing at home.
he's a rookie.
Ritter.
Because Derek Carr's hurt.
He's still starting Ritter, right?
Yeah.
Man, I don't trust that kid at all. But who's the quarterback for Oakland now that Minshew is out?
Desmond Ritter. Desmond Ritter's their quarterback. No. The other guy. Not Desmond Ritter. He came back last week.
Oh, Aiden.
Aiden, I forgot his last name, but yeah,
he
him.
came back last week.
Man.
And that's why they beat Jackson.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. No, I'm taking the wrong. All right, we got Carolina at Tampa. Tampa's an 8-point home favorite.
Yeah, I picked
Tampa
the
needs
Bucs.
this game.
They need to
Tampa
win
needs
this
this game.
game.
Tampa has to have it. All right. Miami at Cleveland. Miami is a 6.5-point road favorite.
Yeah, I picked Miami.
Even though it's gonna be cold in Cleveland, I did pick Miami because if it's 25 or below, Miami usually loses.
Hey, Fox, mute your mic, bro. I'll take.
We're on a team's call now.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna take Cleveland, and the only reason I'm gonna take Cleveland, right, is because I want the Dolphins to be eliminated, and I want them to release Calais Campbell.
Why?
Because he said he would go sign to a contender.
But see, here's the thing: he won't control that because somebody can actually pick him up on waivers, just like.
Oh no,
that happened to
absolutely.
Deion, you remember that, right?
Absolutely.
Deion wanted to go play for the
Yeah.
Ravens, and the Oakland
But
Raiders
same
picked
thing
him
with
up.
Shaq Barrett.
You got to be careful. Shaq Barrett's a free agent now too.
I don't think they released him yet.
Yeah, they did. They released him just like a half hour ago.
Oh, for real? Damn, that was quick. I didn't see that. So he's got to clear waivers, or he's ineligible.
Right.
Yeah,
for the remainder of the season.
Right.
So I think it's the same thing with Calais Campbell, honestly. And I would love for him to clear waivers because nobody needs a DN. I mean, the teams that I would be looking at that need a DN, specifically Detroit, would be higher up in the or lower in the waiver order. I'm trying to think who else.
He'd probably go back to the Ravens. If it's up to him, he probably want to go back to the Ravens.
I don't know, man. I mean, you could be right. You could be right, but do they need him?
Hey, he's a good influence in the locker room. That's
Yeah,
all
but I
you
mean,
need. Somebody like
you're
that in
looking
the
at
locker
the time
room.
of the year that you're bringing him into, right? And the only reason I say that, like, we could use him in Philly is because we haven't had Bryce Huff back. We've reactivated him on his practice window or whatever, but he was never who he was when he played for the Jets. So
contract year.
So give me Calais Campbell, who's been playing all year, not been injured, and let me sit Bryce Huff for the remainder of the season. Easy win. It's an expensive win, but it's a win nonetheless. All right. So let's move forward. We got Green Bay at Minnesota. Minnesota's a 1-point home favorite.
I'm taking Minnesota. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. I'm taking Minnesota.
Okay.
Green Bay hasn't really beaten any winning teams this year. If you look at their record, who have they beaten that with a winning record?
I don't think many, if any.
So that's why I'm picking Minnesota.
Yeah. No, I like Minnesota. I like what Darnold's been cooking up there. They're looking good. I'll take them at home too. Yeah. It's a different game if it's in Green Bay.
They lost already, though. Minnesota went to Green Bay and beat them.
Yeah, but I'm saying this time of year.
Yeah, because of cold.
Yeah, I got a buddy of mine that lives just in Madison, and he's like, bro, it was like -30 the other day. I was like, oh Jesus.
That vortex in
Yeah,
the Midwest is no joke.
yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Like that'd be a totally different game if it was outside at Green Bay instead of in Minnesota in a dome. So yeah, I'll take Minnesota all day. All right. Then we got Atlanta at Washington. Atlanta is a 3.5-point road dog.
I'm taking the Commanders because the Commanders they want to clinch the playoff spot, so they definitely have to win. Definitely have to. And then we don't know what Philly gonna do this weekend, do we?
I thought they were in already. Commanders.
No, Washington is not in. They can still be booted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I did pick Commanders though.
They have to win out in order to stay in the playoffs.
Oh,
Well, somebody has to
okay.
lose
Yeah.
this week. Somebody has to lose.
Somebody like
Seattle does. I think Seattle has to lose.
and they're playing right now, and
Arizona's already
they're beating Chicago. So
That
yeah,
game is playing in the rain.
I'm taking Atlanta. Right, I told you I'm
Penix.
going with Penix because that's my neighbor's kin, and I'm good with it. Plus, you know, I want Washington to have a post Super Bowl.
I don't know. We have to see. Penix is good though. I'm going with the Commanders.
I did pick the Commanders though, but it wouldn't hurt my feelings if they lose.
All right. And then Monday night, we got Detroit at San Francisco. Detroit, 3.5-point road favorite.
I picked Detroit.
No, I'm definitely taking Detroit.
You have to. Trent Williams is done for the year. Christian McCaffrey's done for the year. Purdy has not looked the same.
And Cam's going to try to make a statement just like he did with us last year. Yeah. Just like he did with the Cowboys, I'm telling you. Yeah. He's going to try to run up the score on them.
Yeah. And then last but not least, the game that's most important to all four of us, everybody else that's watching, we have the Dallas Cowboys visiting the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Eagles are 7-point home favorites with the third quarterback as their starting.
Were those odds? Was that spread put out before Jalen was announced?
That's current right now. -7 Philly.
I mean, I don't doubt it, but
Cooper Rush, that's a bad matchup for the Cowboys and Cooper Rush.
Right.
Bad matchup.
Bad matchup.
No CeeDee Lamb.
Bad matchup.
Angry Eagles team that's going to take it out on anybody that was going to play this week because of what happened in Washington. And Dallas is coming at home. And it's a Kelly Green game at home.
Don't forget about the rain. You see the rain in Chicago?
Yeah. It's with the rain. And I was telling people earlier, I'm like, it's going to be a Saquon game. He's only 238 yards out or something like that. 260? Something like
229. That. 229 yards. That's all he needs.
Yeah, he's going to put a dent in that this weekend. I'm telling you. Give me my Bird Gang all day.
Yeah, I don't think A.J. Brown might play either.
AJ's fine. He was at full practice today.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the only people that weren't full practice were Jalen and Will Shipley for a concussion.
Nah, concussions are nothing to play with.
But nothing limited. That's Jalen out. Yeah, I said I don't want to see Jalen play at all, period, even if he is healthy.
Wait till the playoffs.
This is not the game you want to put him in, right? Dallas has nothing to play for other than bragging rights. And you don't want to risk injury to much of your starting core. You got the Giants next week. I mean, if we beat the Giants, they get the first pick. If we lose to the Giants, they fall to the 7th pick. But we got to win one of the two. So let me say we're gonna win this one.
Listen, the only thing is you're gonna have certain fans that want us to lose anyway because of draft position.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Draft position, you guys screwed up, winning a few games down the stretch. Y'all went from 9th place to 15th.
Yeah, but you know what? They're professionals at the end of the day, so they're not going to tank.
Oh no,
I get paid millions of dollars to play a kids game, so there's no way they're going to tank. And I told everybody that. You want them to play hard anyway, but they're not going to tank. No way.
Yep. No, I'm with you, bro.
As long as we can still pick a running back, a wide receiver, or offensive lineman in the first round, I'm good with it.
I mean, you'll have your pick at, mid pack. You'll have, a veritable pick of decent, not top 10.
You can always trade down, but don't forget, somebody always falls in the draft.
That's fair too. That's fair too.
Somebody's always falling because everybody needs quarterbacks. So the quarterbacks are overvalued, so somebody can fall right in your lap because the quarterbacks are overvalued.
I think next year's class is wide receiver heavy, if I'm not mistaken, that's good for a lot of teams. But
it's running back heavy. The wide
running back heavy?
Good, but it's running back heavy, offensive line heavy, cornerback heavy.
Do you think the NFL is ready to accept the fact that running backs are valuable again?
That was immediate.
This season proved that 100% that running backs are valued.
Absolutely.
Exactly. We got screwed because of it. Thanks, Jerry. We got screwed. Look at all the running backs that signed those big contracts. They're all producing. And their teams are going to the playoffs. Besides Pollard, but other than that, all the big dogs, they going to the playoffs. Jerry didn't see the writing on the wall.
Yep.
Oh, we're going to bring Zeke back. Oh, we got Rico. We fine. Really, Jerry?
Yep.
But there are a lot of good running backs in the draft, and a lot of those running backs are playing in the college playoffs as well. That's a good thing, though. So we get to draft, we get to actually scout and watch some good college football this next weekend.
All right, I got one more pick for you. Notre Dame or Georgia?
I knew it. Here you go. I'm taking Notre Dame only because Georgia does not have a quarterback.
Yeah, I that's who I picked, Notre Dame, because I said that Georgia didn't have a quarterback.
Beck's still not healthy.
Got to running back, outrunning everybody for 98 yards. Oh man, I was like, damn, look at that boy go. Mimi. Notre
Beck's
Dame
still
got a
not
good
healthy,
team.
huh?
No. Beck is out for the year. He's not healthy.
Yeah, he out. He had elbow surgery.
Oh damn.
The only way Georgia can win, they got to turn Notre Dame over 2 times at least for them to win that game.
I mean, their defense ain't no punk, but
yeah, but you got to put up points against Notre Dame though too though. Not unless you can stop Notre Dame's running game, because they don't throw the ball a lot. Notre Dame doesn't throw the ball a lot. They run heavy. So
they got two solid running backs, and their quarterback runs. So
put 8 in the box. Put 8 in the box and let's see what happens, baby. I don't know if Kirby Smart's going to do it, but let's see what happens. Because there was a stat. I mean, the leading wide receiver only had like 30 catches this year, if I'm not mistaken. So Georgia might have to put 8 in the box against Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. If you had no starting quarterback, it's like, okay, we're going to have to shut down their strength. You might have to put 8 in the box. I can't wait for that game, too. That's going to be a good game. That's in the Sugar Bowl. That's going to be a really good game. No weather conditions. It's in a dome. Should be good.
Yep.
Since Bama's not in it, you know what I'm saying? Since Bama's not there, you know.
Well, yeah.
Hey, listen, Jalen Milroe, you know, he didn't perform the way he should have against lesser competition, and that's why, you know, we didn't make the playoffs. That's why. How you gonna go up against LSU and beat LSU up on the road, but then lose to Oklahoma and Vandy? Something not right. Something not right. Especially Oklahoma. So it is what it is. We playing Michigan. It is what it is. Ohio State and Oregon is going to be a good game too. That's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, definitely is.
But I know you only worry about Notre Dame right now. It's all good.
That's all I can worry about.
Oh,
Well,
man.
I hate to do this to you guys, but it's old man time.
It's all
Yep.
good.
It's all good,
Yeah,
bro.
it's time to go.
Time to go and watch this boring game too.
Time
So
to
when do we
get
have?
ready to go to work tomorrow.
Yep. So when we meet again, it'll be a new year, right?
Yeah.
Almost. It'll be the day before, 31st.
Yeah. Do our last show of the year.
Let's
Yep.
see if we're gonna
We
be
might be
talking
back that
smack
night.
or getting smacked.
Yeah,
down.
we can definitely do that. I don't have basketball next week, so
Okay.
well,
Well,
Yeah.
just wanted to say thank everybody who joined us and glad everybody had a Merry Christmas. Stay safe. Let's enjoy these last 2 weeks of football, the ones that's not making it over to the next round. And just be kind to each other. And before I go, I do want to send out a prayer to my friend Mijay and her daughter and grandkids on the loss of their 14-year-old on last Saturday hit and run accident here in McKinney, Texas. So we're praying for them and we're praying that the killer be person driving the car comes forward and do the right thing and help give this family closure.
and before you we go, I also want to give my sincere. I want everybody that knows a friend of mine in Indianapolis, Kenya Pearson. Her house burned down on Christmas yesterday, and
Oh,
it was a very devastating. No, nobody was hurt. Their two pets died, but they came home to their house being burnt down on Christmas Eve. And I could see the agony in her face during her Facebook post. So I just want Kenya to know that, I'm praying for you, and that if you need anything that that I can provide you, please let me know. All right. Well, that's it on my end, and it looks like Nikki, I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Yep.
Can't wait
All right.
to hang out. So
Most
Oh,
definitely.
sucker.
all
Oh, sucker now.
right. So well y'all have a good night.
You too, everybody. Thanks for coming out. God bless.
God bless.
God bless.
Right, bye.
All right,
Bye.
bye. Good night.
Good night. If I could find the end button.
I got you.